All right. Good morning, everyone. Good to have you aboard here on a Wednesday on Driving the Line, your sports betting brand of record. I, of course, am Jonathan Zaslow. Glad to have you aboard. I am in for the coach this morning. He is off doing all the PGA Tour play-by-play that he can handle. We will hear from the coach coming up later on in the program. We got a lot to get to here. Make sure you like, you rate, you comment, you do all that good stuff. It's great for the algorithm. I don't understand the algorithm, but that's good for Driving the Line. So you make sure that you do all that good kind of stuff. There's so much going on between the NBA, the college basketball, the NFL free agency. But most important, we are here to make that money. And that's what you guys are here for as well. So let's get to the recap from yesterday. As you can see, pretty much a 500 day, except for Jacob, who sweeps at 3-0, going with a bunch of teams, once again, that I've never heard of before. But that doesn't matter. What matters is you have the green check mark next to the name of the team. So excellent day for Jacob. The crew came through yesterday. The crew pick came in a winner. That's obviously super important. We're going to look to capitalize off of yesterday and get some winners today. That's why you're here. Let's get this going. Let's bring aboard our pal AB. Come on now. Oh, there he is. Hello, AB. How are you this morning?
Zaz, my man, doing fantastic. First off, you're doing a great job already, as we all knew that you would.
Yep. I'm getting good scores already? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Wait, we're going to give you, you got an A+, bud. Way to go.
Can only go down from there, man. I mean, what are we doing?
Hey, we stopped grading right here. You're good.
So we got a lot to get to here. First, though, I always want you to tell folks how they can become part of the crew, all the exclusive opportunities when you're part of the crew. What's everybody got to know here this morning? Come on.
Absolutely. So there are some new content right there in your feed. Obviously, being a part of the crew, you get the daily exclusive that comes in your feed right after this show every weekday morning. We also have the Howie Schwab Experience. Just dropped a new video on Tuesday in regards to transfer portal players that you need to know coming up for March Madness. And he has so many more as well. So you can see two ways to join. You can click the join button right there below, or just scroll down to the show description and you can find the link right there.
I'll tell you though, AB, you've been killing it with the college baseball, man. I feel like you got some kind of cheat code that everyone else is apparently not privy to. Like, it's almost not fair. You're crushing it, man, with the college baseball. Good for you, pal.
Hey, I appreciate that. And you know what? It's funny that you bring that up because we have to issue something right now. And Zaz, I'm glad that you're here because this is the first time in the history of Driving the Line that we have issued an official decree. All right? Okay. We're issuing a breakup. Relationship is over. Producer man, hit me with that graphic. Yep. Stanford baseball. You're banned forever. Forever. All
what
right?
happened?
For 3 years, my man, Johnny Bowman, has told me, don't bet Stanford. Don't ever bet Stanford. They'll ruin all of your parlays. They'll ruin all of your picks. You know what? Johnny B, my boy, I am finally listening. They're done. All right. Tennessee shows up, has the breakfast shift yesterday, cashes. All right. TCU comes in, lunch shift, cashes. All right, Oregon, the dinner shift, cashes. Stanford, done. Loses 5-0. You're out. Don't text us anymore. Don't call us anymore. We've tried to give you the karma. We've tried to give you everything in this relationship, and you just take. It's done. It's over.
Have you ever banned any? I mean, Brett Lee is happy that they're banned from the show. You can see Alana. She doesn't like them. Glad they're banned. Have you ever banned anyone from the show like Stanford?
Never. This is the first time in the history ever. They're done. Absolutely done. Also, Big Cheesy, happy birthday.
All right. Peace out, Stanford. See ya. Not going to hear from you here on Driving the Line. What we are going to hear, though, is the crew play of the day. What are the options today, AB?
Yep. So the crew is much more intelligent, better looking, and every other adjective you can think of than Stanford baseball. 4 options here. College basketball tonight. Really good night in college basketball. They got Houston -8.5. Tennessee -5.5 against South Carolina. UConn -5.5. And Iowa State -7.5. So There you go right there. Those 4 options are in the poll in the chat. Vote now, and we will update at the end of the show. And Raphael says it. I was just about to say it. So Stanford wins the national championship. There you go. Like, that's how that works.
Yeah, is there like AB? Is there anything they could do, Stanford, to get unbanned?
Well, here's the thing. They went to the College World Series last year, right? One of the 8 teams, and no, they're done. Like, it's one of those to where I have to listen and I have to believe they're done.
Right.
They're out, gone.
All right, so we want you guys. We want the crew. We love it when you're active early and often in the chat. We'll get to the crew pick of the day at the end of the show. That's how we all make that money together. And let's get to the picks. So you know how we do here on Driving the Line every day here. We're going to get you the winning place of the day. That's how you get the morning started. You wake up, you get to your computer or your phone, your laptop, whatever you got going on. I don't know what your scene is in your home, but you put on Driving the Line, and now you find out what the plays are for the day. Joining us here once again, Chris Bassett. You see Real Housewives, right? Everybody remembers. He's your favorite personal chef. Chris, how you doing this morning? Hello.
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me back, guys. Great to be here.
So we got some picks we got to get to here. Let's throw it right to Chris here. What do you have on tap today? Let's see it.
Yeah, so first off, NBA, Josh Giddey, over 3.5 assists. This guy is averaging about 3.4 his last 10 games, but against Portland, that number goes up to about 6.7. And then on the road, it's at 4.8. He's gone over this number in 3 of his last 5. I think Josh Giddey gets easily 4 or 5 assists tonight. And at plus money, I really like that one. Red Wings and Colorado tonight. I mean, both of these guys are scoring a ton of goals. They've gone over this number 3 of their last 5 games. I mean, it's a big number at 6.5, but somebody's getting to 5 goals in this game easily. And then last one in college basketball, LSU, Arkansas, first half, under 76.5. I took an extra 1.5 here. I don't think I'm going to actually need it, but I've also got something else with that pick later on in the show, so that's what I like today.
All right, so there you go. We got a little bit of the NHL. We got a little bit of the college. We got Josh Giddey and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I like it. You're versatile here today, Chris. AB, what do you got today?
So first off, I want to replicate how my man Bassett did last time on the show. I'm not going to say it because we don't use any of those type of jinxes or nothing, but my man was cash money. Greg Roberts, welcome to the crew. Tyler Rogers, welcome to the crew. This is what we're playing today. 2 money line based college baseball parlays. First, Clemson money line, Alabama money line plus 100, Coastal Carolina money line, Florida State money line plus 100. Those 2 right there should get us right.
All right, so a couple picks there you also see from our man Howie. All right, Howie Schwab. Doesn't matter what he's doing. It doesn't matter what's on his daily agenda. He's always sending in the picks here at Driving the Line for you guys, for the crew. So take advantage. Howie's got a couple plays here. Iowa State laying 7.5, and Rice. I'll bet you didn't have that on your daily sheet. Rice plus 7.5 today. So couple plays there for Howie. And here's what I got for you guys today. You know, I bet hard with the National Basketball Association. And here's what I have today. I like the Rockets. Everybody likes a home dog, right? So Rockets plus 7. They're coming off of a win last night against San Antonio. Alfred and Şengün, 45 points last night for the Rockets in that win. They really limited Wembanyama. I know it's the second day of a back-to-back, but they're playing a Clipper team who has been struggling to score lately, and the Rockets are a great defensive team. The Clippers, this is their 3rd game in the last 4 nights. They've scored 106 and 89 in their last 2 games. I like the Rockets plus 7 tonight. And the Warriors, you may be saying, Zaslow, you're laying 4.5 points with the Warriors. They just lost by 600 to the Celtics a couple days ago. Well, that's why I like the Warriors. That was a disgraceful effort a couple days ago, and I like them bouncing back in a big way and bouncing back against a Milwaukee team that's been hot, but I think that's fool's gold. A couple of those wins after the break for the Bucks have been against the lowly Charlotte Hornets. So I think there's a little bit of overvaluing maybe with the Bucks. So I like the Rockets plus 7 at home, and I like the Warriors minus 4.5 at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. How about that, AB? Come on now. Those are winners right there.
Winners, man. Absolutely. And I'll tell you real quick, it's funny. Me and a person in the chat last night, we played an NBA parlay. It was a threes parlay, okay? We had Kevin Durant, 1-3. We had Nikola Jokic, 1-3, and Michael Porter, 2 threes. That's it. Plus 100 something right there, right? Kevin Durant did not hit a 3 until 4 seconds left in the game. Yeah, that 3 to tie it up. It was crazy, man. It was insane. I was cussing him, and then I was like, all right, KD, there we go.
Wow. Chris, tell us about Odds Jam. I know you got that going on.
Yeah, I mean, just a platform that I use for positive expected value betting. I mean, it's taken so much of the thought process and statistical know-it-all out of the game for me, where I can just come in and look at it and match it up with other lines. That's when we get to the other part of the show. That's how I make a parlay every day, maybe 1 or 2 of them, just looking at some different things. But yeah, check them out, oddsjam.com. They got some great things going on over there.
I think I also want you to tell me about the adult beverages you got right over your shoulder there, Chris. I mean, I'm ready to go here. Come on now. Look at that. Let's go.
Restaurant industry, man. It stays full over here. It's just, what do you do?
I like it. All right, Chris, you're not going to go anywhere, all right? But we do have to bring on our other pals here. Let's bring aboard Charles and Jacob here, as they got some plays for us also. There they are. Jacob, of course, our silent assassin, pick management, Charles Michelle, ROI Capper here with us. Guys, how you doing today? Hello.
Great, Zaslow. Yourself?
I'm doing good. Come on now. I'm living large here in South Florida. Both my teams won last night. The Heat, the Panthers. We're like the center of the center of the universe here in South Florida. You don't have to ask me how I'm doing. Jacob, you doing all right back there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ready to kill it again today. Let's go for another sweep.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. 3-0 yesterday. Everybody else was like 500 yesterday. Jacob's like, I'm not into the whole losing kind of deal. I'm just going to pick winners. All right, so let's get to it here. Let's see what the guys have for everybody today. Jacob, take it away, man. What do you got?
Yeah, it was actually 5-0 yesterday. If you watched the UEFA show, I slept on that too. So just had to mention. So today we are going back to England, and I am all over Southampton versus Preston. Both teams to score yes. Southampton, third best attack in the championship, 69 goals in 35 games, but they have conceded 10 goals in their last 4. Preston has scored in 5 out of the last 6 on the road. Southampton has seen both teams to score yes in 4 out of 5 overall and 4 out of 5 at home. Southampton scored in 13 consecutive home games, and we've seen Preston score in 8 out of the last 9. This game should have goals on both ends. I'm also on Middlesbrough versus Norwich City, both teams to score yes. Only 4 teams have scored more than Norwich. They have scored 60 goals so far this year. They're unbeaten in their last 6, but have seen both teams to score yes in 4 out of 5 games. Middlesbrough have seen both teams to score yes in 4 out of 5 at home and scored in 8 out of the last 10 games. I think this game also sees a lot of goals, so make sure to take both teams to score yes. And then CONCACAF Championship, it is the American version of the UEFA Championship. I'm all over Columbus tonight as they take on Houston. Columbus scored at least 1 goal in the last 6 overall. Houston has only lost 2 home games, but they just lost to the New York Red Bull, and Columbus has a lot of talent on their team. Cucho Hernandez has scored in every game so far this year, and I think the Columbus attacking style is going to be too much for Houston to handle, and I think we see a low-scoring game that Columbus dominates, so take Columbus and under 4.5 goals.
Shout out to Richard there for becoming a YouTube member. We love when it lights up green, and now you're part of the crew here. Jacob, I feel like you got the Columbus crew there and the under. I feel like I rarely see you go with MLS, right?
No. MLS is that, I say European soccer is my jam. MLS is my thing. Charles and I have our own MLS show, so make sure you guys tune in to that. MLS Betting Insiders with me and Charles out weekly. We cover the whole MLS slate, and we smash it every time.
I'm an inaugural season ticket holder for Inter Miami. I don't know if you knew that, all right? We got Messi here. Are you loving Inter Miami and Messi these days?
Oh, yeah. I just got my pass for their game versus New England. I have my press pass for New England versus Inter, so I get to watch the game on the field to watch Lionel Messi play.
Oh, okay. Have you ever seen him in person?
I have not, so I'm very excited.
This is very exciting. Charles, good to have you aboard here today. Let's see what you got for the crew. Come on.
Absolutely. We have one European match, the Europa League today with Sporting and Atalanta. This is a rematch from the group stage, which should be another must-see event. Sporting, they start the round of 16 on a 9-match unbeaten streak and have been especially dominant at home, only losing one time in their 18 total fixtures. The Lions also enjoy lighting up the scoreboard on their own pitch, scoring 3.3 team goals domestically and 4.1 total full-time goals. Atalanta, they arrive in Portugal riding a mini slump, losers of their last 3 games in a row, while only winning twice in their last 6 on the highway. Gasperini, though, he is certainly qualified to get this team turned around, with the Italians enjoying success in European matches, scoring 8 goals away from home in the group rounds and avoided defeat in all 3 encounters. Much like the first match in Portugal between these two, I'm definitely expecting goals and Atalanta to get off to a fast start. So I'm seeing much of the same this go around. I'm going to go ahead and back Atalanta first half team total over 0.5, the over 2.5 full-time goals, and over 9.5 corners.
All right. So, Charles, I need to know how you come up with going over the 9.5 corners. What's the thought process there?
These are 2 attacking teams. So instead of sitting back, playing defensive, they're going to move forward. That's going to cause, more shots, crosses into the box, deflections, saves from the goalkeeper. So I think 5 on each end. So, yeah, I look for offensive-driven teams. They generally produce more corners.
I love the idea of watching the game and ball goes out behind the goal. We're all cheering because there's going to be a corner coming up. We're not cheering for the goal. We're cheering because we're going to get a corner opportunity. I love that.
That's
all
right.
right. Good job, guys. I think we got some winners there. Jacob, Charles, don't go anywhere. We're going to check back in with you. But first, you guys may be saying, hey, where's Coach at? Well, I already told you. Coach is on the PGA Tour this week. He's doing play-by-play. That's why I'm in for Coach in the driver's seat. But that doesn't mean that Coach doesn't care about you. He sent in a few picks.
It is your fearless leader. Sorry I couldn't be with you today. However, duty calls, and I will see you on the Golf Channel at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time today with On the Range as we get you set for the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Do not forget, DTL Golf is in your feeds live right now. If you haven't watched it yet, you need to, because there's only 69 players this week. We got some great best bets. But speaking of bets, this is my turn. We're going to cash with the coach today. I got 3 plays from 1 game in the association. We're going to go Bucks and the Warriors. Let me check my notes. Over 226.5 minus 110. Kind of a gut. I told you the other day with Golden State, when they play a really good team and it really means something and they need to play well, they score a lot of points. The Bucks, they've been an over team all season long. You put these two together, I really like this matchup to have a lot of points tonight, despite the fact that the under trend has been heavy lately. Then I got 2 player props. We're going to go Steph Curry over 26.5 points minus 110. Right back to my gut feel. This guy's starting to play big time. He's starting to get a lot of hype, and he's starting to score a lot of points when it matters. He went off at in New York City at Madison Square Garden. I think he does it again tonight. Then Damian Lillard, we're going to go under 25.5. 8 of the last 10 games, he's gone under this number. Yeah, last game he scored 41, but Giannis didn't play. Giannis is scheduled to play tonight. So I'm going to go Damian Lillard under his point total. It's a little scary, but I like it. Those are my 3 plays. I know the Z-Man is doing work running the show today, so I'm going to go get ready. Let's send it back to him.
Thank you, Coach. Of course, I'm doing the work. I mean, most obvious thing ever. Excellent job out of you, Coach. So we got our picks there. We got our plays for today. We'll circle back to that in case you missed any of it. But now it's time for us to educate and entertain. So we bring AB and Chris back aboard here as we're ready to educate and entertain like we do every day. And first, though, AB, we got to tell everybody, you got to hit that like button. You got to hit the subscribe. You got to hit the notifications. What else does everybody got to do?
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it right there. All right, the biggest ones. Make sure, please, hit the like button. It helps us so tremendously much. And then, yes, on the notifications bell as well. because we're always dropping content left and right. Do those two. Yeah, you'll be in good shape.
So obviously we're putting out the plays every day here on Driving the Line, but also we want to educate and entertain. And the big story right now in the sports world, you could say all eyes right now this week are on the National Football League. All right, we know the NFL is king, even in the offseason. So before we get to specific, we got the franchise tags being thrown out, we got free agency, we got guys being released. Chris, before we get to actual individual players, what has stood out to you, if anything, over these first couple days with the NFL free agency? Have you been surprised with anything?
How do you take an $85 million cap hit and just be like, it's cool, whatever, have fun, and then go, and now we haven't even officially cut you yet, but if you want to shop, go for it. It's fine. Go for it. Listen, Russell Wilson probably didn't have the best time in Denver, but $85 million is a huge number. And I can't wrap my head around it. Maybe it's because I don't have $85 million to just, flush down a toilet. But that's probably been one of the biggest things for me. It's just a big number that you're willing to say, we're better off eating $85 million than having you as our starting quarterback.
Yeah, they really didn't even have a choice because either he wasn't coming back. Sean Payton clearly hates him like poison. So it was either trade him somewhere, and no one's going to trade for him at that number, especially when they know, all right, we don't have to trade for him. If we want him, they're not going to keep him. So let's just wait for him to be cut. And the Broncos, then, they don't have any other choice either. Here's the thing, AB, $85 million, it's like half the salary cap. So half the salary cap this coming year is just dude that doesn't play for us anymore.
Yeah, that's it. And look, it goes to show a couple things. Number one, Sean Payton has power in that organization. He is calling the shots. Number two, it's a kind of an underwritten, versatile rule here that Sean Payton just did, that if you're a coach, you get rid of the quarterback, kind of, not that he needed a reset in time, but that's exactly what it does. It buys you time, right? Because then you kind of have the built-in excuse, well, he's breaking in a new quarterback, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, it all works in that. Now, $85 million dead hit, that is a ton. And the tough part is that Russ actually played pretty decent last year. It was not similar to his first year in Denver, where it was an absolute disaster. But I get it, man. You know what? It doesn't feel like Russ was really ever a fit in that locker room. And, you got to move on. You got to move on. But, yeah, there's something there. Like, Sean Payton does not like Russell Wilson. Like, he does not.
He's just that kind of guy. He's literally that's his stamp, right? He's got to make his mark on team. He's got to let them know he's in charge, and this is what we're going to do. And what better way to do that is and then just make the bold move, right?
I think you're right about it being a built-in excuse for Sean Payton, because when they stink this year, because half their salary cap is dude who doesn't play for us anymore, he gets to look at the Broncos like, yeah, I didn't give him that contract.
Yep, exactly.
I wouldn't have done that. This isn't my fault. It really does reset the clock, essentially, for Sean Payton. I think that's an excellent point there, AB. So let me throw some guys at you here. We got some big names on NFL Free available because their teams are not placing the franchise tag on them. And a couple of those big names, I want to know, Chris, would you break the bank for either one of these guys? Chris Jones, Christian Wilkins. Now, Chris Jones is a game-changing D tackle. We know that. Christian Wilkins, while he's not an all-pro, he doesn't have those accolades. This is still a very, very good player who the Dolphins decided not to tag. They're both going to hit free agency. Would you break the bank on either of those tackles?
So break the bank, man. What does that entail, right? If I have to pick one of them, and I'm all for defense. If you can get a solid interior defensive lineman, getting pressure on the quarterback, get your team off the field on third downs, I think I've got to go with Wilkinson. Only because I think last year was probably one of his best seasons, if not his best. Numbers up in sacks, a little bit down in tackles, but young. You got to go young. If I'm going to break the bank on somebody, I at least want to make sure I've got the youth factor on my side. He's 3 years younger than, or 3 years less in the league than Jones. That's where I'm going to go. That would be my pick as far as the defensive lineman there.
AB, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think it depends on the team. I think Chris nailed it right there, right? Like, if you're looking for something longer term, absolutely go with the youth. But if you're looking for a hired gun, man, all right, that's your guy right there. Jones will get the job done for you. We saw it. He did it last year with the Chiefs, right? So, yeah, it depends on the team, what you're looking to do. I also agree on, breaking the bank, that quote, because here is what every NFL team obviously understands, but take a look from college football all the way to the NFL, all right? It's all supply and demand, okay? Offensive line is the largest delta between no supply and all demand. So if I'm spending money, that is the position that I'm going. Left tackle, right tackle, left guard, right guard, center, whatever. I am trying to acquire as much talent as possible, as much depth as possible, because the supply of good offensive linemen across the NFL is at one of the lowest lows I've ever seen.
If you're a team that's ready to win right now, I think these are both very good options. If you're a team that's building, I would not go with either of these guys, because to spend a lot of money at the defensive tackle position, which while these guys are very good players, it's not a premier position in the National Football League. So if you're going to have a position eat up a lot of the cap and you're a team that's building, doing at a defensive tackle is not the position to do it at. If you're a team that feels they're a player away, then you go ahead and you bring in one of these guys. With that said, I think Chris Jones is going to remain in Kansas City. Let's talk a little bit about the quarterbacks who are – it's so weird, right, guys? The National Football League, this was only a trend that started like 3-4 years ago, where sometimes quarterbacks are becoming available on the open market. It used to be where if the quarterback was worth anything, he would never hit free agency. So this year, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, even Russell Wilson. Chris, would you be interested in one of these three guys, all three of which are probably different financial values?
Yeah, I mean, if I've got – so, listen, being here in the DC area, Kirk Cousins, not that I'm a Commanders fan, but seeing him play regularly on TV, not my guy. I'm not here for Kirk Cousins. Baker Mayfield, I love his attitude. He took a while for me to get used to, but that swagger he brings to the field is really fun to watch. Great year in Tampa, but he had a great team around him. I think if I've got to pick anybody, it's probably going to be Russell Wilson. Just from his Seattle days, like we said, last year he had a good season in Denver. I think in the right system with the right pieces around him, he can get back to where he was in Seattle and be a really top tier quarterback. I just don't see it really for the other two guys.
What about you, AB?
Yeah, I mean, look, Baker, I don't think that Tampa's going to let him go at all. I agree. I love the kid's attitude, love everything about him. I think, yeah, like a Russell Wilson and the price absolutely plays into this. He's going to have to sign for very low. And I think that if they do it correctly and the price is low, have a little bit of humility on Russ's side, there would be no one better than Mike Tomlin with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right now, you're not looking long-term, but he could definitely make you better now. Right. So I think that'd be the play. But again, price is going to come into that, man. The price has to be right.
I got one more for you guys here. The Giants are not franchise tagging Saquon Barkley. We know the way the league feels about running backs these days. Chris, are you willing to pay Saquon Barkley if you're a team in need of a running back?
Man, this one, man, I was looking at this last night, and it's like the guy is super talented. I mean, when he's on the field, he's one of the best in the league. The problem is he's not always on the field. In the last couple of years, he's been close to making almost every game. But, man, I feel like running backs, you can find a running back almost anywhere. And, again, what's the offensive line like, right? AB mentioned it earlier. That's where it's all about, right? It's the line there. Is he going to be able to get to the holes or whatever? I don't know, man. I couldn't make a decision on Saquon. Again, it's one of those things. What's his price?
AB?
I'll tell you what you do. And this is nothing against Saquon, but the price is going to be, it's too high. You go get Derrick Henry. And I will tell you this, here in Nashville, I've seen the guy's career literally since he was playing in Jacksonville in high school and then through Alabama and then his career with the Tennessee Titans. He is everything that you would ever want in a locker room guy, in a quiet, silent leader on the field. He will handle his business. He quoted himself, or I'm going to quote him a quote that he had, ball ain't heavy. He will take as many handoffs as you want. He is the guy that you want to go get. Josh Jacobs is going to be out there as well, but Derrick Henry will play for lesser money because he has other things going on financially in his life. And I mean that positively, right? He's about the winning, and he's about going to the right team. I'm telling you, Derrick Henry, he doesn't have a million carries in him, right? Like, we're obviously on the backside of that career, but Derrick Henry is the guy. I cannot sing this guy's praises enough. Whoever signs him is going to be very happy that they did.
Guys, I got one more here for you on Educate and Entertain this morning on Driving the Line. So we know that the college football, EA Sports, the college football game is coming back. It had been away for a while. NIL has changed things. And now players who agree to have their names in the game are going to be compensated. It's a small compensation, but they're going to be compensated. Well, Archie Manning. I mean, we know the Manning name. That is royalty when it comes to football. Archie Manning, though, he's still a backup at Texas, all right? And he has declined to have his name in the new EA Sports game. He's declined because he wants to wait until he's the man, until he's the starter. So, Chris, is this Archie Manning being Arch Manning, being humble, or is this potentially a negotiating ploy?
So if we take the history of the Mannings, man, this could go either way. My thought is I would like to think that it's a humility thing and not an ego thing to, look, I'm the backup right now. We have our quarterback. Let him be the man right now until I'm the starter. That's what I would like to hope it's for. But then you look back and Eli talking about, if you draft me, I'm not going here. Is that a family thing? Who knows? I'm going to go with it's a humility thing, and he's doing it for the betterment of the team to let the team succeed while he's not the starter yet.
What about you, AB?
I think it's both. I think we could walk and chew gum at the same time. I'll also say this. Whoever is advising Arch Manning on this, probably a pretty intelligent person, probably knows what they're doing here, and I would probably listen. And if I were, a five-star kind of backup person, guy around college football, obviously you're not going to have the same last name as that kid, but I would send a text and say, what's your angle here? What are you doing? Because it's probably well ahead of the game.
All right, good job, guys. So a little bit of Educate and Entertain this morning on Drive the Line. Let's bring everyone back. It's time for the whip around. All right, so at this portion of the show, for folks who are tuning in late, number one, where have you been the first 30-plus minutes? And number two, we're going to make sure we take care of you anyway, all right? So quickly, guys, let's do a recap for those who didn't hear at the beginning of the show, at the top of the show, what our plays for tonight are. Jacob, let's hear it. What do you got? Come on.
Yeah, we're first going to England with Southampton versus Preston. Both teams to score yes. Middlesbrough versus Norwich City, also both teams to score yes, and Columbus Crew in under 4.5 goals at plus 195.
Charles, you're up. Let everybody know what the winners are for today.
Yeah, Europa League action, Sporting Atalanta. First half team total over 0.5, over 2.5 full-time goals, and over 9.5 corners.
All right, Chris, let's hear from you again. Give everybody the winning plays.
Yeah, Red Wings Avalanche over 6.5 today. Josh Giddey over 3.5 assists in the NBA, and then some college basketball. LSU Arkansas first half under 76.5 points.
I will fill in for Howie Schwab here. He's got Iowa State minus 7.5. He's got Rice plus 7.5. I have a couple NBA plays for you here. I like the Rockets as a 7-point home dog tonight against the Clippers. 3 out of 4 nights for Los Angeles. And I like the Warriors, a bounce back after a disgrace losing by 1,000 to the Boston Celtics. I like the Warriors minus 4.5 against the Bucks tonight. The coach, he likes Warriors, Bucks. You're saying, where's Coach? Coach sent in his picks. Coach likes Warriors and Bucks over 226.5. Steph Curry over 26.5. He scored in single digits a couple days ago against the Celtics, so he's looking to bounce back. And Damian Lillard under 25.5. He had a huge effort a couple days ago in the Bucks win over the Clippers. Giannis, though, is expected back in the lineup tonight. AB, what do you got?
We are going to the world of college baseball. There we go. Right there. Need to get that sound in. Clemson money line, Alabama money line plus 100, Coastal Carolina money line, and Florida State money line plus 100.
All right. So there you guys have it. Excellent job, everybody. Look, I'm not just saying this. I think they were all winners. I think we're all going undefeated. I wouldn't just say it. Excellent job by everybody. Now that we have everything in, let's see what the crew chose. It's time for the closing bell. All right, AB. So now it's the opportunity for all of us to be in it together. What is the crew's play of the day?
Yeah, first off, all right, look, I think we need to add kazoo to every transitional song on this show. More kazoo. I need more kazoo. All right, crew has gone on fire the last few days, and they're looking to continue it again. Tennessee against South Carolina is their choice. The Vols minus 5.5 on the road against the Gamecocks, looking to handle their business and finish the regular season right.
That's a tough game tonight for Tennessee. All right, so Tennessee minus 5.5. We're all in it together. I mean, that's why we're doing it. That's what the crew chose. AB, we got to make sure everybody turns on the notifications. We do the rates and the comments, and that's great for the algorithm. That gets everybody the monies.
It does. Absolutely, it does. And it gets us more kazoo in the show. Just hit the like button. It's free. And turn on those notifications. That is also free. And I promise it'll help us. It'll help you. Helps us all. Zaz, and look, we called it the best bet that we made today was you bringing it an A+. Well done, sir.
Thank you, pal, very much. Now, shoot your shots. We got an opportunity coming up again for all of our pals, part of the crew, yes?
Absolutely. Coming up this Monday, Shoot Your Shot, episode 3. We're going to have 4 new people, plus our man, Robert Dixon, coming through with his plays. This is your time where we turn the show over to you, and you are the experts and the cappers, and we sit back, watch, have some fun. It's a blast. Anybody who's watched the first 2 knows it's a ton of fun.
There you go, guys. Excellent job out of everybody involved today. Chris and Charles and Jacob. Howie sent in the pick. AB, of course. Coach sent in his picks. I mean, it's all happening. And every day winds up being a huge sports day when you're tuning in to Drive in the Line, because if there's an opportunity out there to make that money, to cash in our picks, then you know it's a big sports day. Today's no different. There you go. I will be back with you guys tomorrow. Coach, he's doing the golf. He's on the PGA Tour. He's calling all of the action. I'm sure he'll send in the winning picks tomorrow as well. Once again, thanks to all you guys, part of the crew, for hanging out with us today. Make sure you like, you rate, you comment, you subscribe. You have no idea how much it helps everybody here over at Driving the Line. Tell all your friends. Tell your mother I say hello. And all of us, we're going to have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow on another edition of Driving the Line. See you.